sport. There's also the WNBA going on tonight. They got a doubleheader, a 7:30 start, and also a 10 o'clock start. Let's focus first on the 7:30 start. The Tempo taking on the Liberty here, Joe. First year for the Tempo, hanging around, looking at the standings. If it ended today, they'd be a playoff team at 5-4. The Liberty looking to do much more damage and just make the playoffs and win a championship, but also sitting at 5-4. But you look at that spread, you wouldn't know it, Joe. 9.5 and 10.5 out here in the betting landscape, and a total of 172.5. WNBA action tonight, Joe. Give me a spread line for Tempo Liberty.
Yeah, well, listen, Toronto Tempo's done a pretty good job, right?
Yeah,
I mean, 5-4 on the season. It was a slow start for the Liberty, but boy, have they figured it out in a big way here. And yeah, listen, I think this is going to be a pretty good litmus test for both these teams. The Liberty, have you truly figured it out? Are we back on track here at home? And Toronto, listen, it doesn't get any better than the New York Liberty to see on the road. Can you handle your business? I think it's a fascinating matchup. The market doesn't seem to think so, Donnie, with this price. But I tend to think that, listen, the Tempo want to play with tempo. They want to score a whole lot. I don't know that that's the best way to beat the Liberty, but something tells me this might be the most entertaining game of the night. We're going to get a ton of points in this game.
Somebody's got to break a losing streak coming up tonight. 10 o'clock, game number 2 of the WNBA doubleheader tonight. The Mercury taking on the Storm. Joe, I'm looking at the standings right now. The Mercury 2-8. They've lost 6 in a row. The Storm 3-7. Losers of 3 in a row. But you take a look at the road team here, the Phoenix Mercury. Overnight, Joe, we're seeing 4.5s and 5.5s as a favorite towards the Mercury. Now you see that graphic, and across the board, 6.5s are now starting to pop up in a total of 161.5. Who ends that losing streak tonight? And better off, Jeff, who actually gets the cover tonight with the spread line?
It's kind of crazy, right? I mean, it feels like just yesterday, the Phoenix Mercury had just opened the season and destroyed the Las Vegas Aces 99-66. The problem is the Vegas Aces were also one who swept them in the WNBA Finals last season. But it has not been good since. And you mentioned it. This is a rough losing streak here. This is not good. But if there was a team on the schedule, Donnie, that is also going through it here, it's the Seattle Storm. So if Phoenix Mercury are going to turn this thing around, this is a great opportunity, but the problem is both these teams are falling knives, and we say, don't catch a falling knife, Donnie. I'm not catching a falling knife on the side, but I'm willing to bet we don't get a ton of defense in this game here tonight either.
Tempo and the Liberty in the WNBA tonight, 7:30 start at the Liberty. Tempo in town, trying to keep a decent season on the line going in a season that, hey, they ain't been around too long. It's their first year. 79%, though, is the chance that New York, the Liberty, win this game. The yes contract is 80%. If you feel that they can win by 10 points, we're talking about the Liberty, Joe, a $100 investment pays back $193 on a Liberty victory and cover.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're only 2-3 on this homestand, the Liberty are, and they've got a couple of more games going here, but they have Breanna Stewart. They have Jonquel Jones. They have more than enough, Donnie, to be able to handle business against a very young and upcoming Toronto Tempo team. It's a good litmus test for both, but I think the market is telling you there's levels to this right now, and I think the Toronto Tempo are about to figure that out here tonight. It's this price for a reason, Donnie, and I think the Liberty are starting to put it together here. I wouldn't bet against them at home.
Mercury and the Storm tonight, 2 teams looking to break losing streaks, as we brought up on the early line. The favorite tonight is Phoenix, a 68% chance to win their game tonight. But if you feel Seattle could snap their losing streak and they're the dog, you get a nice investment here, Joe. $100 investment on the Seattle Storm would pay back $313. How about that?
Yeah, not both these teams, Donnie. I mean, the Mercury started off the season in great shape, right? Beating the Aces there, which they didn't fare well against last year in the finals. But they have an opportunity to right the ship here because the Seattle Storm, who have lost 3 in a row, are not exactly, tearing it up here in the WNBA. I think the Phoenix Mercury, who are a little bit younger this season, this go-around, I like them to figure it out. I also, Donnie, think, forget defense. Neither of these teams are winning because neither plays any defense. I think we're getting points and over for me here tonight.